Good afternoon, or really good evening, and welcome to the channel. Sorry, I was doing shit earlier today, so I didn't start filming until about 3 o'clock, which it is right now, and it's almost dark outside. But here's the cool thing. I just got in these new sunglasses from a company called Boosted Shades, and I'm going to be offering these for sale here pretty soon once production is ready. But they are real wood, not, you know, a vinyl print that looks like wood. Real wood, and SS717 is engraved into the sides, and they have a black face. Really fucking dope, and I can't wait to sell them. Again, keep an eye out for that coming soon. With that being said, we're here to talk about the 2019 Chevrolet Silverado. So normally I would do an in-car vlog with the McLaren, but because we're talking about trucks, I think it's appropriate that we take the big girl. If you are new to the channel, this is my 2005 Duramax, so although I'm not a truck expert, I think I at least have some credibility. I love wintertime. I love having 7 hours of daylight, and it's great for filming. So, as you may or may not know, it is the 100-year anniversary of Chevy trucks, and for that big date, Chevrolet decided to unveil the brand new 2019 Silverado at Texas Motor Speedway, and they literally brought this fucking thing in on a helicopter. So unlike most of Chevy's reveals, which takes forever and it's not really that exciting, this one was actually really cool. So I gotta give credit to the Chevy marketing team, at least on the truck side. Now, I wish the ZR1 was released in the same way, something really cool and exciting, but all we got was an auto show, but whatever. Point being, the 2019 Silverado looks pretty badass right away, right off the bat, and this is an all-new truck, so not a refresh, not just an update, totally new, which means that the current Silverado from 2014, only up until 2018, did not have a very long lifespan. You look at like my truck, my generation, went all the way from, what was it, 99 to 2007, so that's a solid 8 or 9 years. And this one, the most recent one, only got 4. I'm definitely glad that they redesigned the truck already because I think it needed it. You know, Chevrolet truck sales are good, they're always good, but they're not that great, and they could be great, and they could be number one. And I think this new truck really looks, like I said, badass, you know, right off the bat. That front end, I look at it and I kind of think Raptor right away, but has its own kind of unique Chevy look to it. And it's worth mentioning, though, this is the Trail Boss version of the Silverado. So this is the most aggressive, most off-road ready truck, looks the coolest by far. So I'm sure that for a regular one, you're going to get like a chrome grille or maybe a body color option for the grille, but in that Trail Boss spec, I have to say it looks really, really good. And the headlights I think look cool. You know, my favorite headlights in the game right now in the truck game are definitely from Ford. I love their big kind of C-shaped headlight, but this one here would be a close second. I really, once again, I think that they did a good job on the headlight design. Moving on from that, you notice that the mirrors are not connected to the door, like right by the window anymore. They're connected to the door, but on the outside, so that's a little bit different. I'm not sure if it will be like that on 2500 series trucks. And that's also bringing up a good point. You know, is this look, now I would think this is gonna be for all trucks in 2019, but it might not be for the 2500 and 3500 trucks. I mean, a lot of companies have done that before. Ford, Chevy, and Dodge, they'll update their light-duty truck or make a new light-duty truck, but the 2500, the heavy-duty, won't be changed until a couple years later. That has happened before. I would think in today's day and age, one of the reasons for the refresh is not just, the 2017 Silverado does look a little bit outdated next to its competition for sure, and I think it could definitely use some changes. But one of the other reasons why we're going to see a new truck so soon and why other auto manufacturers are doing the same thing, that's just kind of the world we live in now. It's not like 20 years ago where you'd have one car for 8 years, 10 years, 12 years. Now things are changing quickly. Things are updated very fast. A lot of vehicles have an update, a major kind of refresh every year. That's just the environment of the car world right now. So, seeing a totally new design this fast really isn't that surprising. And it's going to be like that more and more going forward. Back to the point, I would think that with all that being said, I think the 2500 series truck will be like this right away, but we'll have to see. So yeah, the mirror is not connected to the window anymore directly. It's like down on the door. And the big thing I notice here being a Chevy guy is no more square wheel arches. Now, that's always been a cool thing about the Chevys, in my opinion. I like that it's different. Nobody else has them. But it's impractical and stupid, especially if you're a person who lifts your truck. The Chevy square arches have always been a hindrance when putting on big tires, because typically they have a tendency to rub more than the Ford and Dodge round ones. So I kind of miss the squareness. You know, that's always been a Chevy thing. But at the same time, it's kind of exciting because I know I can get bigger tires on right away. Going back to the 2500 real quick, you know, that's exciting to me because I've been looking at a 2017 Duramax or a 2018 maybe, but I'm not really blown away by the look, and I really love my truck the way it is. But if the new Duramax in 2019 has the L5P engine, which I'm sure it will, I mean, they just came out with that, with essentially 1,000 pound-feet of torque from the factory. If I can get an L5P Duramax that looks like this, then you bet your ass I'm going to get one right away. So let's see what else. We got the mirror, we got the wheel arches, everything else looks about right. Although the cab of the truck, I look at it, the upper portion of the cab, and it kind of looks Ford to me. It looks more Ford than Chevy. You know, I never have seen Chevy do the little cut in the rear window there. You can see how it's not just a square, it kind of has a little angle to it. So that's different. And the back angle of the truck really to me looks Toyota-ish, which I know all the backs of trucks are kind of becoming the same. They all have the brand across the tailgate, and the taillights all kind of look similar. But I don't know, I look at it and I kind of think Tundra. It almost seems to me that Chevrolet is taking the best parts of other brands, looking at what people like, looking at what works, and incorporating that into their new truck, which I don't necessarily think is a bad thing. Unfortunately, we're just getting a look at the truck here. We don't know what the inside looks like. We don't know any of the specs. I mean, I would assume engine-wise, you can guess it's going to have the same options as the current truck. So you got the little V6, the 5.3 V8, kind of the middle choice, and then the 6.2 liter V8 that you can get on some of the really high option trucks right now. So I would guess that same thing, and maybe a diesel engine is coming at some point. I would like to see Chevy put a diesel in the light-duty truck. Of course, it's not going to be an L5P. You don't need 1,000 pound-feet of torque. I don't even think a light-duty truck can handle 1,000 pound-feet of torque. But we'll have to see on that. And as far as the body construction is concerned, looks to me, now you can't tell by looks, but it looks to me, because there's a lot more going on, a lot of little creases and things, a lot of little details that would be a little bit tougher to get with steel. It seems to me there might be a chance this truck is aluminum. Chevrolet had a marketing campaign back when Ford first announced that they would be using aluminum, and Chevy was like, we only use high-strength steel in our trucks. And, you know, people made fun of Ford, and that was a big thing. People were saying, oh, you know, it's a truck built out of a beer can. And, of course, like all the pictures and videos of people tearing apart a Ford truck body panel by hand, which, I mean, of course you can do that. That doesn't mean the truck is any less safe or any less structurally sound, which the whole thing is kind of stupid. But it wouldn't surprise me at all, and I think Chevrolet made a statement on this not too long ago that they would be looking to incorporate some aluminum in trucks going forward. So it wouldn't surprise me if this new truck used at least a little bit of it. And it's just the future, which is why that marketing campaign kind of capitalized on the initial negative response to aluminum, because you got the truck guys like, oh, I don't want no fucking gay aluminum on my truck. You know, you're going to capture those initial people, but over time, guess what? Nobody fucking cares about the Ford being aluminum anymore. People accept it. And it's just as strong as steel, just as safe. Everything is the same, except it's lighter. And something that a lot of people don't think about, it doesn't rust like steel, which I think is fucking great. As you may or may not know, I had a 2017 Silverado for a while that I ended up selling to a friend of mine. And some things, I love the truck overall, but there were some complaints I had that I would love to see changed for the new generation of truck. The one big thing for me was it did not have push-button start. Now, I'm sure some people right away are going to think, oh, well, what do you need a fancy push-button start for in the truck? But hear me out. You know, I don't mind using a key in my old Duramax because I'm used to it. But every time I got into my 2017 truck, I would instinctively reach for a push-to-start button, and it wasn't there. And having the key is annoying. It's so much more convenient just to get in the truck with the key fob and go. You don't have to worry about putting the key in. You know, the key can stay in your pocket the whole time. The truck automatically unlocks when you walk up to it, so you don't ever have to take it out of your pocket. You don't have to worry about losing your keys. It's just overall a lot easier. And yeah, of course it does have kind of the cool factor, but I mean, that's a side thing. You know, the most important thing is it is more convenient, and I would love to see push button start on the new truck. I like the column gear shift. You can leave that. And that's really about it. I didn't have too many complaints about the interior. I thought it was pretty nice, except for the throttle response is really bad on Chevy trucks for some reason. The new one I drove, I mean, you get used to it like with anything, but you really had to mash the gas pedal to get the truck to go. I didn't have any complaints about the 8-speed auto, but I'm sure that this new truck will have the 10-speed auto that GM and Ford developed together, which is cool. It's a great transmission, and I'm sure horsepower levels and everything else will be similar. So overall, I'm not sure if you're going to see too many huge changes mechanically. I think it's mostly going to be body and hopefully some improvements to the inside. I like my old truck. It works fine. And I haven't really been super blown away by the current offerings from Chevy. Now, I do plan to get a Raptor, which is a totally different thing. But if, like I said, if the new 2019 Silverado looks like this and I can get a Duramax that looks like this, fuck yes, I'm definitely getting one, and I want to get one right away as soon as possible. So this very well could be my next truck. So let me know what you think of the 2019 Silverado. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I'm pretty much in the love it sector. I think it could use a couple of little changes, but we can go to the aftermarket world for that anyway. Hope you enjoyed this upload. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. If you are stopping in for the first time, please subscribe. Take care. Have a great day.